Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of RPT Red Pill Tamales. Welcome, gather around. It's your boy Chingo Bling. We got Juan Perez in the building. I've had a very full, interesting morning, my brother. Everybody was at the dentist's office, my whole family.
Yeah, what you did?
Well, I got a teeth cleaning. My wife got teeth cleaning. My daughter had to get a whole bunch of stuff. And it was just just a full day. Penny woke up out of the anesthesia.
She woke up out of the anesthesia?
No, not like in the middle of it. Just when she was done, they cart her in a wheelchair, and she's just like, well, all groggy and stuff. So, but we're here, and everything's good, man. We're ready for this RPT. I did my daily affirmations, aka at the dentist. They asked me, "Do you smoke?" I said daily. They probably like, let's see. I guess smoking's maybe bad for your teeth.
They're probably like, what did you smoke?
And I was like, the good stuff.
The good stuff. So they're probably like, that doesn't count.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's cigarettes, they probably like, bro, we got to get all that off your teeth. But if it's weed,
it might be a positive.
You think weed gets on your teeth? Let us know in the comments. Do y'all think weed gets all in your teeth? But hey, man, should we set up this first video, man, about this positive way how to start your day?
Give you 3 things now that will start rewiring neural pathways. Please go. Get up in the morning, go straight into the bathroom. If you brush your teeth with your right hand, start brushing with the left. Look into the mirror. Now we're talking to the subconscious brain. Eye to eye in the mirror and say, I love you 10 times. When you finish that, let's get some oxygen inside you to start the day. Exaggerated breaths to start the day.
How many breaths?
I always tell my guys do 25 in the morning, 25 lunchtime, 25 in the evening.
Okay, so left-handed teeth brushing.
Yes.
Look straight in the eye in the mirror. I love you, I love you, I love you 10 times.
Yes.
And exaggerated breaths.
Will change your life.
Will change your life.
Do them 3 things. If your life doesn't change that day, give me a call. I'll send you $100 for wasting your time. Never happened yet.
It kind of reminds me of what Jordan Peterson says, like clean your room, make your bed. And I feel like it doesn't matter what specifically you're doing, as long as you're kind of doing something repetitive and you're putting your intention behind it. Whether it's like, well, this person might read the Bible, do push-ups, and smoke some weed. This person might take the deep breaths and brush your teeth with the left hand.
Yeah.
But they might both still have a good day.
Yeah, I think I watched it and I was like, oh, this will be good, because I like it because it helps you get out of like the monotony of like just like the daily routines that you might have, like that are just like, let's just say you're going through the days and you're going through the motions or whatever it is. These little things, it's more of like a mental exercise to like start some type of change. So like the beginning when he says like whichever dominant hand you brush your teeth with, switch hands. It's that little micro change that actually starts a cycle of like trying something new outside of like the repetitive day-to-day, where you could just be in this cycle that you hate, and it starts to refresh certain things. And then normally most people are more self-deprivating most of the time, so they really
like negative self-talk.
Negative, yeah. So for the most part, instead of being like, man, I don't want to go to work today.
That was me this morning. This morning's like, man, why I'm so tired. Why do we all have to be at the dentist this morning?
So instead of focusing just on the bad stuff, what this little exercise will do is just to start some type of like getting you out of your norm thing, and it's looking yourself in the mirror. And it doesn't have to be exactly that. It could be something better or something different that just resonates with you. That's not just like, I don't want to go to work, because then you start thinking that way, and it starts to do a trickle effect to where it's like your whole day's fucked up. Like any little thing will trigger you if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So this is just one of those things to kind of like start a process of not just going down that trickle effect. Like I should be happy I woke up today. You know what I mean? And then that last piece of, what was the last piece? The last piece was the which part was it?
Oh, he did like deep breaths.
Oh, the deep breaths. That's the reset. That's that will give you the time to just take a second and to just like focus on like really resetting like the whole, like your whole day. Like instead of just like, oh my God, I'm in a rush. Oh, I gotta eat this bagel real quick on the run. Oh my God. And it starts to like, you start to get into this anxiety of like, oh my God, I gotta get this done. Like you start just freaking out of like, I gotta get here, I don't have enough time, and this. It gets you to just pause and be like, it's gonna be good, bro. Just relax.
I have a whole bunch of different morning routines. I just, They vary, they change, they evolve. I don't know if I guess I'll ask you when I'm done with this, but one of the ones that I do is when I choose to jam like some gospel music in the morning instead of a podcast, or you right away jumping on Twitter and you're already looking at all this World War III stuff, instead it's just like good positive music with a good positive like message. It's just all affirmation. Basically, it's like all affirmation basically. And then drink my coffee, of course, and then like read a little bit of the Bible, like Proverbs, just not like really, really long. It might only be like 10 minutes or whatever, but that already just, I feel like, puts that armor on and just mental focus to where you kind of know you're kind of going out into the world and you're going to be tested. That's how I look at it. Like you're going to kind of go into battle. Do you have like a set?
I want to get a set routine, but like, see, that would have really helped me like back when I was like doing 9 to 5 and all that stuff. But right now I'm behind on a lot of stuff. So I'm just trying to catch up. Once I catch up on everything,
you're like, I ain't got time for a routine.
My routine, honestly, I already know what my routine would be. If like the ideal one would be like get up, walk to the gym, it's like 2 miles, walk to the gym, do my workout, walk back, that's 4 miles. And then that's already, like, I'm already set after.
Damn, 4 miles. What is that, like 20,000 steps?
I don't know. But, like, at least that in the morning, like 3 a.m., walk, do the workout, come back, probably be back, like, around 6.
So people getting out the club and you walking, and you're walking to the gym.
Yeah. So that way I get back by 6. And then by then I could already start figuring out like what my next thing's going to be. Like, am I going to work on this, or this? Do I want to go just favor real quick? Do I want to go do some other stuff? Like, make sure my day's productive where it's like I'm either making money, making progress, or making like breakfast or something and then just going back to it. That way I'm like not wasting any steps. And I think once I like plan out some of the stuff I have coming up, it's going to be a lot easier to be like, okay, from this hour to this hour, I'm doing this. From this hour to this hour, I haven't gotten to that point yet. Just because once I catch up and I start to organize stuff, it's like it'll be good.
I literally had to like laugh to myself. I think in my car, like delirious type of laugh. One of those like, ha ha, Lord, why did I, boy? Because I told Mighty Soul, I was like, we chose to start over. Like we went from being a couple, like dating, and me having just my daughter from my previous relationship, where I didn't have her all the time. So basically my girl was having to be stepmama from time to time, right? And doing a great job. But it wasn't like, oh my God, we started over, bunch of little kids, and you're having to deal with like diarrhea diapers, like vomit, kids' costumes, waking up early, like sleepless nights, like hurry up, pack the lunch, getting ready for school, pick up the grocery. Like everything gets way more complicated when you're dealing with multiple mouths and just multiple people and the ages, and like it's a Halloween party. It's like, I know, but they got to go to bed. It's like, I know, but they're barely about to break the piñata. And long story short, I was just sat in my car like one of those like, I picture the dude that played Christian Bale when he was like the psycho killer for some reason.
Like,
it's just I just picture
American
like
Psycho?
Yeah, I just picture myself in my car like, haha, like, oh my God, like this embrace the suck, like, cute kids though, cute kids, like, they're yours and they're cute and you glad you got them, but boy, oh Lord have mercy, I got to open up all this mail and I'm just behind on this, and Uncle Sam, he want all of it, not half of it,
That's weird. It's good to have that thought, but like I think
my point is that all my downtime is like
with the kids.
It's things. It's like, hey dude, I got gymnastics, or like we got to pack the bag, swim, pack the bag, jujitsu, get the thing. Where's her water bottle? Where's the sleep mat? Don't forget today she got to take the fresh sleep mat and pull the dryer out. Shit, this hasn't been folded, and it's a lot of that.
Yeah,
pray for me, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, well, you guys, like, you'll have them on a lot of extracurricular activities, so, like, I see how that works out, like, but, like, for the most part, like, these are, like, really, like, honestly, like, what else are you gonna do with your life, you know what I mean, like, we live, we die, and that's it, like, At least you have, like, these different, like, right now it seems like it's a lot because there's so much on your plate, but, I mean, if you can zoom out a little bit, it's kind of like, well, it's pretty fun, though,
It's like, man, can't wait to be an empty nester.
You say that now, but then when you're an empty nester, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, dude, I kind of missed that."
Yeah.
Or I kind of.
Yeah, you
It's
start
just
getting-
there's those little moments, those little nugget moments with the kids where
The
you're just like,
chaos.
"That's pretty dope."
Hectic.
Like
yeah.
somewhat. It's just a matter of just like having to deal with the emotions within that is kind of what's overwhelming.
And that's why they invented like cold beer and you know what I mean, cigars and Netflix. Like just when you're just like, I just need to pop a cold top. I just need to pop a top. I just need to pop a top on
I need
cold
some
one.
sort of sedative to like get me through the day. Just give me something.
I'm on something at all time. Why you on something all the time? Cause
for your benefit.
got a lot of little kids and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I think it's beautiful. I think only because I can zoom out because I don't have my son for all that stuff. So like it's I can kind of see it more than you can. I think because you're in it, or you know what I mean. But I'm like, man, that's actually you're gonna
Super
like
in
it
it.
if you gotta like sometimes you just gotta take those breaths, those big deep breaths, and kind of enjoy a little bit of it. But yeah, I think that's what
It's all in God's timing. You know, I'm not complaining. So, I mean, the Lord, He blessed me with all this at age 44. You know what I mean? So that, like now, I'm 44 now. I'm going through it all. So it's like I'm mature enough and I've slowed down enough to where like I know to appreciate it instead of like, golly, boy, man, don't y'all ever take
be
a nap?
thankful-
Go to sleep already. Golly, say my name one more time.
and be thankful that you had him at this age. Because then imagine if you would have had him a little bit later. It was
No,
like
yeah.
I had no energy for this
I'm
shit.
too old. I'm too
Yeah,
old
so
for
you
this.
got enough energy, and before inflation gets even worse.
I mean, not only that, look at where our cities are going. Look at New York City. Did you hear about this? Can we show? It's not a video.
It's in
but
that video, but I'll pop it up here. Yeah.
bam, insert that. I'm curious. I want you to go first. How do you feel about this, like red light districts popping up now in New York of just hella Venezuelan prostitutes?
Well, I think that it said that the red light district was there before. It's just like now it's like popping with even more Venezuelan prostitutes. Man, I don't know because New York is going back to the way it used to be. So I mean, it was already getting worse beforehand, and then now the prostitution's coming, and now everything. It's just like a big snowball effect of all the stuff that they had fixed already, and then now it's just going backsliding into what it was, to where it's like, oh look, the streets aren't as safe as they were for a little bit. Now it's like, oh, anybody could get run up on, or
Yeah, y'all
and now
voted.
there's prostitutes everywhere. It's like,
And they want to just blame it on Greg Abbott. Like he's flooding us with them. It's like, nah, cuh. They're flying them in and dropping them off.
there's that, and then it's like, yeah, well, we don't have any space here either. So, like, did you see when they were trying to pass it to where it's like, okay, well, the illegals are not allowed to leave Texas now. Like they were trying to get that whole thing set up. So it's like, how does that even make sense? Like
It's like y'all are the sanctuary city.
yeah, you're segregating us for like we're Mexico or something. Like why wouldn't we just, if you're gonna hold them at Texas borders, why wouldn't you hold them at the Mexican borders, you weirdos?
Well, they don't understand that like every town is a border town right
Yeah.
now. Like everyone is gonna have to deal with this situation. This story caught my eye, and that's why I sent it to you. It caught my eye because like it didn't have to be like this. I'm sure the liberals or progressives or people that are like hella open border, like pro open border, they probably just only see in their mind one thing, which is like all the nice grandmas from Mexico who want to just contribute and not be a menace. They can finally come just like everyone else, because you know, it's like only highlighting in their mind, like, oh, it's going to be just a bunch of nice people. But in reality, it's like, bro, you're importing a bunch of folks with a lot of problems, and they're bringing them their problems with them. And basically, just get ready. You're just going to see a lot more of that kind of stuff.
I think the problem is that I don't think we have clear definitions of everything. Like I don't think people understand like whenever they say like just let them over, like in their head they're like, oh no, it's all the Mexican, like the way you said,
Or like it's
all the
not that
Mexicans.
many. We can afford to take care of everyone.
But they're not opening their mind up to be like, what if this is an invasion? What if more likely because they're just from different parts of the world. This is Venezuelan people, not Mexican people. Like, so can you back up a little bit and not just be so close-minded? Like, oh, you just don't want Mexicans and all this stuff. It's like, no,
whatever. You're racist.
It's only, you're only saying that right now because something hasn't happened. Instead of being preventative, we're being like, well, let's see what happens and then we'll fix it then. It's like, well, we might not be able to go back to the way it was now because we have so many new immigrants here from all over the world where it's like, we might not ever be back to the way it was because there's too many people here now. Like, it's like starting to get overrun. People are going to be blending in and eventually they're going to start cross-pollinating and everything. So then we got to figure out, like, whenever, let's hope like a new administration comes in because we need we need it to stop a little bit so that we can try to fix something because right now it just keeps getting worse.
It's a shit show.
Yeah, things keep getting signed to like keep more people coming in.
Give them IDs.
Like, you just get more fucked up now to where it's like, okay, hold up, wait, you're muddying in the water. It's too much for us to go back.
Turning commercial real estate into like private hotels and residential.
I mean, this is what it looks like. It looks like they know that they're gonna be out, like Democrats are gonna be out the office. Like, I'm not just right wing or anything like that. I'm just literally saying, common sense says the people that are currently in power right now is Democrats, and they're running it into the ground. And right now, it's like they're setting it up to where it's like, oh, we're gonna like fuck this up so bad that it's gonna take all 4 years to like try to untangle all the little things we're doing right now. And by the time you get into office, they're not gonna be able to do anything else to like try to recover while we try to work out a plan so we can get back in office. It's like, what the fuck?
And meanwhile, they're just running their whole scam. I just pray that the American people start to like pay attention and wake up, but it's so like overwhelming and depressing that people have to choose and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on, like, I'm gonna try to not have a stressed out shitty day, and it is what it is. I don't have a lot of control, so I'm just gonna mind my business and ignore the fact that we're being invaded and that a lot of countries and a lot of entities want to see America fall off, and they're doing everything in their power.
And that's why we started with daily affirmations.
Yeah. We started with daily affirmations.
Take those breaths right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, a lot of these folks in these cities, in these neighborhoods, whether it's Chicago or New York or wherever, Martha's Vineyard, they're getting a taste of those policies firsthand. And people getting bamboozled by these politicians left and right. Like a lot of the Jewish folk that just would vote Democrat for whatever reason, and they're realizing that by them backing up all these leftist organizations, a lot of them are siding with Palestine. So they're like, hey, you guys are hating on the Jews. It's like, yeah, thanks for your vote.
I mean, we like, honestly, I could say like we don't mind talking about the politics stuff and things like that, but we just know it's like most of the same, and a lot of people are tired of hearing the same thing over and over again, and there's really nothing much that we can do.
All we can do is
until voting.
All we can do is try to wake people up and just, wait until people are primed and ready. Like Juan was saying, like, stuff got to get so bad to where they start to be like, was it this bad 3-4 years ago? Like, I mean, obviously people were so traumatized with the pandemic and the lockdowns to where anything feels like an improvement.
Yeah, so I mean, for the most part, we'll touch on the topics here and there, like maybe once or twice a month, just so that way to keep y'all informed whenever something big comes up. But for the most part, we have other things we want to try to show y'all that we, maybe we could like chime in on, just like the daily affirmation thing, or this Samsung iPhone thing you just came up with.
So y'all know that who was I seeing? I think there was like a Houston music producer, EXO. I think he was asking a lot of questions, like, why is it that, he's like, well, how many suns are there and why can we see? Like, he was like asking questions, and I was like, let me get in these comments. But anyway, here's an interesting feature that apparently the Samsung phones have.
The dark theory about Samsung phones, you know how they always pride themselves on having a better phone than iPhone? They say that their cameras are the best. They say that you can literally point your camera at the moon and the quality is better than a telescope.
Yeah, they do really advertise like being able to zoom into the moon.
Yeah, so I watched this video by Shane Dawson and watched this clip. Do you see how the guy is able to zoom into the moon? It looks pretty good, right? Like, it looks really good.
That looks really good.
Yeah, so Samsung actually just came out saying how they actually fake moon pictures on Samsung phones and they used AI to do this. But a guy made a video showing how Samsung's able to do this. So like, watch this clip. It's insane how he does this.
Found a picture of a regular white circle and placed it on the other side of their house. They then zoomed in as much as they could to trick the phone into thinking it was a picture of the moon. The phone camera then replaced that white circle with a picture of the moon.
Dude, what? It was just a white circle and then it turns into the moon?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Any white circle will turn into the moon.
Dude, that's a scam.
Who knows what other technology is out there that's like deceiving us with AI? I have no idea.
That's a pretty bad.
All right, so Juan's telling me he had heard about this already. This is new to me. I think it's super trippy. This is what I'm tripping on because Juan seems kind of nonchalant about it. I feel like, why would a cell phone company go out of their way to program their lens in their phone to basically use some little bit of AI to recognize a round white thing that your phone's trying to, like, I guess, focus in on? And why would it allegedly, right? Because we don't know if this video was doctored. I don't own a Samsung.
No, it's not allegedly. I think that's
So it does
true.
it.
I think it's true because this. I think I heard about something like this like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It was something whenever I was trying to compare phones because I was like, man, which phone do I get? Because Israel kept like trying to harp on the
Android.
Samsung Android. Bro, I gotta get the Samsung. I'm like, bro, what's the difference? And it says like this camera's better, the iPhone. Yeah, but you can't zoom into the moon. And then we looked it up and it was like, oh wait, that's like it's like altered, so it's not. It's like kind of fake.
It's like AI moon.
Yeah, and then
so
now-
what was their excuse? What was their reasoning to be like, well, we added that function for fun. It's like an Easter egg. In case you zoom in on a little white circle, just makes it look like a moon for fun.
I think before it was like it was saying something like they didn't have the capacity to like fix it, so it was just like helping. It was helping it, but I like this whole white circle thing. That part's kind of new because it's like they did that little experiment recently, but like. When they would zoom into like the moon up there, it was like, well, it doesn't just do on its own. It's not the actual camera, but like it like helps it. That's the way that it was kind of like, oh yeah, it does that, but just so it can help autofocus.
So basically, it's just an unintended glitch that it helps a regular white piece of paper look like the
I
moon.
didn't say glitch. I think.
Well, I threw in the word glitch, but basically, like, I don't know if they've made a statement. Like, has anyone asked Samsung, hey, Samsung, how did the decision come about to make our phone accidentally turn a white piece of paper into a moon? Is it, like, why?
I think Skynet told them, this is what we're going to do, and they just followed suit. I think that's what's happening right now.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'll be getting too high, but for real, because like sometimes on this show we talk about deep stuff like simulation theory, and just throughout the years, throughout the inception of it, there's a lot of interesting topics. Time travel, simulation theory, like how we perceive things, like what's real, what are some of the crazy lies that some people are in on? Like, for example, like the whole flat earth thing. That right there is one that I feel that it's interesting to see how people, I don't know if it's like a cognitive bias where they like kind of trip out. They're like, whoa, hey dude, you're going too far, bro. Like my mind's not ready to fathom that.
Yeah, I honestly think that there's some things that we're taught when we were younger that we hold true to, and your whole fabric of what you believe is built into certain things. So when people say they have an open mind to things that they are not already like one on, like where they don't have to really. So I think whenever you start to open their mind a little bit more and you start to give them more things, I think that's whenever they're like, no, well, you look, I'm down with this and this theory and this theory, but if you go too far, hey man, come on, man, that's stupid. I mean, you can look up and it's a circle in the sky. I mean, I've already said that too. I've said it looks like a circle in the sky. Why wouldn't it be that here? Who knows? But who knows? I mean, if you just look at everything and the way a lot of things have been like, so like you ever notice like on like a piece of like, I don't know, like a shirt or something, you just like a piece of thread, and then you start to pull it, and it starts to peel off, and then your whole shit starts
going deeper.
And so like it's like the same thing where it's like you find one lie with the government, then you keep going,
why did
and you keep going, and then you're like, and I would say certain things like, why would they lie about that? But then if you start to like say, oh well, maybe it could be a lie just to keep you in a small bubble of like some control. The thing is that we don't like to like give over control to too many things. So like we like to control a lot of stuff. So if the more information we know and the more information we feel like we can control, that's when it's like we're safe. That in our heads we think, oh yeah, well if I know if I know this is round, if I know this is this, then I'm safe here because I know like without the shadow of a doubt that that's real, and because science proves it. But science is one whole theory in and of itself. Science is meant to be proven wrong. So if like there's these different things that what if they're telling you this just to start to control a little bit? Like what if it's bigger than that? Like what if it's other things that they just don't want you to know because they don't want you to go certain places where they go or something? It could be a bunch of stuff, but like in the sense of like to have your mind closed off from every single theory that comes along the way with all the information we start having and all the little white lies and the big lies that we've been catching the government in.
And they got an island.
These rich people in. Yeah.
They talking about pizza.
It's like, why? And even if it was flat or if it's round, why would it matter to you? Okay, let's say it wasn't round. Why would it bother you? And especially like you're a Christian, like when you talk about God and stuff like that, it says God created the earth, but like separated the firmament from the thing. So he never said he made it a round sphere. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know why you guys would question that even more. But anyways. But I'm just saying, like, for you not to have a closed mind to that, but be open to other conspiracy theories, just because you want to control some of the information you have, like the base information you have, that's why a lot of people are closed-minded with it.
It's like cognitive bias. Can you imagine a few generations from now when people are going to, like, there's going to be young people, like, let's just say 100 years from now, and they're going to literally believe there's 3,000 genders. And we're going to be like, hey, dude, I'm from the past, but there's only 2. And they're going to be like, why would they lie? Like, dude, it's always been like what do you say? Dude, there's always been 87. Like, you're archaic, bro.
See, it's funny you go there. You go there, I go the other way. I go, imagine if, like, a few years from now, we have district zones where it's like you're in this smart city.
And you don't know
and
shit.
You can't fathom that there's a place
outside of your
2,000 miles outside of your city, but you're in a dome and you don't even know you're in a dome because your kids didn't know that they were born in a dome. And so only in this sector. You know what I mean? Like, what if that happens? And then you're just like, wait, we're in a dome?
Kind of like in the Matrix.
We can't get out this bitch?
Like in the Matrix where Keanu Reeves or Neo's having to go through the whole thing of like, wait, so that whole outside world I was living in was just like a simulation, and we're in these pods and we're trying to free the people and escape because they're using you as a battery pack, and it's all computer generated and all this kind of shit.
Well, the first smart city is going to be in Hawaii. We still haven't heard anything from Hawaii. There's still, I'm just saying, there's still no communication. I haven't heard anything about Hawaii in a while, and those people that were really loud in Hawaii, I haven't seen nothing pop up.
If y'all haven't noticed by now that the way the media works, like I used to believe that whatever news, air quotes, they were giving us was all kind of like based, not like merit based, but kind of like a priority. Like, we're the news. These are the public's airwaves, and our job and our mission is to inform the people. So we're going to go through the top stories and make sure we summarize it into news format and give you the most important information. And it's like, hey, why haven't you talked about East Palestine, Ohio, or whatever happened to Hawaii? They're like, no, we're shifting gears. And it's like, well, what happened to Ukraine? Yeah, we're going to send them some more money, but we're talking about this now. They just kind of, or they might want to focus on Taylor Swift and the quarterback.
Or Johnny Depp and his relationship,
and his court case.
Those little things that come up, and then it's just meant to confuse you. Look, the more information that you get pumped with, the more like if you're already struggling with finances, you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're living with this, but then you watch the news because you want to stay informed, and then you're just so confused, like, oh my God, there's this going on. Well, no, it's because we're doing this to support these people over here because they need it, and you're over here struggling with your finances, and you're just so confused, and you're barely making it. Where you're just so closed off from everybody else, like, oh, those guys right there, those guys are crazy because like they think that there's this conspiracy going on.
Globalists, what? Satanic pedophiles?
Okay,
You're not supposed to say that on there?
I don't know. I guess. I mean, you can. I'm just saying.
Okay, you can't say like shapeshifter lizard people. You can't say that.
You can say it. I'm sure. Just like I'm pretty sure you just lost half your audience.
Really?
They're probably like lizard people, bro.
Y'all never heard of shapeshifters, bro? Come on, son. This is a way more entertaining show and a way more entertaining audience. They're not gonna tune out. As they're like, if anything, their ears perked up. They're like, oh, finally they talking about some real shit.
They're like, bro, you lost me on flat Earth, and now you're going with lizard people. That's probably what.
Well, then maybe this ain't the show for you. Maybe you should go like watch The View or MSNBC and just continue to believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, watch The View with those lizard people.
Yeah. Watch those shapeshifters.
Yeah. They take off all the makeup.
But you know what though? You bring up an excellent point, because now I'm starting to wonder, like, obviously everybody that watches, I mean, it's a lot of people that tune in and listen different ways. So not everyone has the same purview of whatever they're privy to. But can you imagine if, like, all right, bro, 80%, like for the most part, everybody's kind of gets what you're saying. But when you go to lizard people and shapeshifters, is starting to hit that third rail where like 80% really were like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm curious, like, what's on the list of things? Like, for example, like, it's almost like checking the hoaxes and checking the theories. It's like, could there be the what is it, Comet Pizza, like the pizza place?
Oh,
like,
you want to bring that up? Okay.
No, we don't have to. I'm not an expert on it. I'm not trying to like beat it up.
No.
But I'm saying, like, if it's like a questionnaire, okay, have you heard of that? Could you entertain it? And some people might be like, no, there's a lot of pervs out there. I could see how powerful people have tunnels, and like, there's a lot of missing people. We don't know what's going on, right? And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Ding.
But wait, just with that.
Yeah.
Keep this in mind, and this is why I'm going to say this to you, okay? If people were buying other people like that were underage and purchasing them, do you think that would be a poor man's game or a rich man's game? And if it was a poor man's game, you think you would see it everywhere, right? But if it was a rich man's game, you don't think that they could hide it? You don't think that it'd be a ways for them to get around certain things, and for them to know certain things and know the way these little rabbit holes work and know certain things? Because they have money and power. How would you stop them? You're living paycheck to paycheck. How would you even know? So for us to be the crazy ones to say or even suggest that, like, that's where your mind has to start. Like, is that highly likely or is that highly probable?
I mean, you don't even have to go that far. Like, have you heard about the like John Podesta emails? Like, have you heard about the leaked emails with all these weird references?
Right. So, no, I've heard of it, but I'm just saying, with the people watching, they tune out when you start saying certain things like that, because they're like, oh, that's a theory. That's okay. Because they've been programmed. They've been programmed. When you hear the conspiracy or you hear theory or you hear any of that,
it's
like,
too
bro,
fringe.
Hey, stop. So I'm just saying, on a logical perspective, would it be a rich man or poor man's game? And if you're poor and you're barely living paycheck to paycheck, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? So if you could logically break down, if slavery was still around today, who would be involved? Oh,
I mean, we
probably
know
rich.
I mean,
probably rich.
We know slavery is around today, so it wouldn't even be a if. You know what I mean? It's like we passed it.
Right, but we're talking logically to the people that want to block out everything. So I'm literally speaking to them, because that's the thing that like, you can't deny that.
Well, it's almost like starting baby steps. It's like, was there an island with a list with visitors with underage people, and the guy allegedly hung himself? You know what I mean? It's
and
like
they confirmed it, right? They did a documentary and stuff, right? So then why didn't they release the flight log? That's the little linchpin and the whole thing where everybody's like,
you ain't gonna see the flight log.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna see that because they said something slick on the news. So
they're like, aren't we supposed to be focused on Taylor Swift? But it's like for example,
she was probably on the flight log too.
Damn. No, I just think it's fascinating because, like you were saying earlier about, like, you pull on that one little thread and you just start to, like, for example, back when, I don't know if I could say Mr. Jones's name.
Oh, AJ.
Yeah, the man they trying to debank and sue for $1 trillion.
I'm surprised he's still alive. I'm gonna be honest.
And little by little, as this episode is going, everything I'm saying, I'm little by little starting to talk more and more like this, brother. Yeah, the globalists, the satanic pedophiles, turning the frogs gay, like all that stuff, dude. When people used to try to like get me hip into that fool, I'd be like, what? No, what are you talking about? Like, how does he know this? And like, really, bro, you're telling me people got together to conspire about these things? It's like, well, why? And like, why would they do that? You know, because you're too damn trusting. And, you know, at the time, you're over here believing like, but Obama's a good guy, you know, and I voted for him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, ooh, have you heard about this? Have you seen this? Did you know they were doing this? You know, Hillary did this, and just little by little. Look at the Uniparty. Look at the Purple Party. Look what some of these rhino Republicans are doing. Look how they gutting out America. You know what I mean? Look at our GDP, and like, it could get a little scary.
And so we got all that from the Samsung phone with the moon, but then
Yes.
also check this out with this clip.
The moon landing.
yeah.
Okay, ready? Boom. I've been to all that.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So now we go from the phone faking us out to the original
Fake out.
the original fake out, and then now it's like, okay, well,
Dude,
how
you gotta-
would you explain that?
You got to watch one of those Hibbler Productions documentary things on YouTube, because they're just with space and astronauts and NASA alone, bro. You can make a whole series of documentaries. Just all the discrepancies of like, wait, this agency is in charge of what? Wait, who funded that? Wait, who was involved and why? And like, how much money? It's like, wait, so this guy's admitting all he does is create CGI, like fake space photos and
Yeah, I
like
don't think-
Photoshop and stuff. And
Yeah, but I guess to the audience listening, I think we're not being as fair to them as possible. Where it's like we're trying to inform y'all, but I kind of get where they're coming from, because it's like if they're living paycheck to paycheck or something else like that's happening, like they don't have time to be looking into that stuff. And then on
it's
top of
almost
that,
like,
it's
how does it matter?
like, why would they lie to me, and what does it affect
How
my
does it affect
paycheck?
me?
Well, the reason I think, and the reason I would say, is because if they're lying to you, think about it like this. I don't know if any of y'all have played chess or checkers, but if you make certain moves on chess, you get somebody to start forcing their hand. And if you can start forcing, like, if you can,
Like set
think
up
about it like
moves.
this.
Set up traps.
Think about it like this. Think about your kids. Like, if any of y'all have kids, this is just an example. But if you had a kid and they didn't listen, and you didn't want to spank them, but you wanted to get them to start complying with you, you would start giving them stuff. Okay, give them rewards whenever they do something good, right? And then what's the thing you do whenever they do something bad? You take it away. And when you take it away, they have to do what? Comply. They have to comply or they don't get their shit back. So what if they could get us hooked on so many good things like food, like phones, so dependent on phones and technology and all these things that they can turn off at any moment when they decide to turn down a grid or anything. If they can get you to do that, get you so compliant and hooked on something, and then take it away and make you comply, that would be the ultimate win for the elites, because then now they control what you do and they have leverage on you. And the thing is like we've been slowly letting them take away our soft skills for years, meaning your regular skills, like what your grandparents and parents knew on, like, you know, basic lifestyle things, because they didn't have technology back then. So like they're like literally trying to figure out their day to day. And you know, maybe some of them were farmers, because most of our farmers are all older. We don't have it. It's like, it's rare that we have younger generation of farmers now, and a lot of the farming's being outsourced now. So now you're taking away all those soft skills, and if we don't know, then later on it's gonna be way harder to try to learn without the guidance of the older population that actually would do it and tell you, like, hey, you need these kind of insects to get these insects away so that you're not killing you with pesticides and you're fucking yourself up with your food supply. Like, there's a lot of that stuff. So now you get so dependent on this stuff that they can start telling you what to do and you have to follow their rules. That's literally how, you know, like a superpower would want to control you. And that would be like the ultimate type of slavery, because the thing is before, if any kind of people that were oppressed, the worst thing for like a slave owner would be if your slaves started to rebel, because you outnumbered them.
Harder to manage, yeah.
So if you could get them so dependent and so thankful and grateful, like, oh, I get a slice of the pie, and you complied willingly, those are the best type of slaves, because then now you're following suit with these people, and it's like you're working together, but really you're just making their lives easier, better. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of things people need to like get outside themselves and think about. and then try to figure out a way out. Because at the same time, like, there's ways out and there's ways to get to better your situation. It's just a matter of you not watching porn all day or dating all the time and not really like focusing on what you need to focus on. You're just like so scatterbrained on like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do this over here. I'm gonna go party over here, and you're not really paying attention to the things you need to pay attention to. You're just like a walking sedated slave. That's literally what I see.
And there it is. So I mean, basically, what Juan's saying is, get your shit together. Juan just broke it down to y'all. He's like, this is the reason you ain't shit. See, first of all, one of the reasons you ain't shit is because you ain't got outside yourself. You ain't zooming out, peeping game. But yeah, man, it's like those videos that have been circulating where it says like, why young Americans are fed up with the system, And it's like, yeah, man, it's like this giant Ponzi scheme that people don't know how to escape and how to circumvent, or like almost like hotwire some shit. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, it's like, how do you, especially for young males, like, in other words, what are some of the traps that we could probably talk about this on the next episode, but like, what are some of the common pitfalls and traps?
Venezuelan prostitutes.
Yeah, and you mentioned a bunch of stuff. You're like, you're wasting your time with porn and chasing chicks, and you're just wasting your time. You have no direction, no skills.
Think about it. That's the ultimate thing right now. Like, think about it. Like, just if they can keep you at a primal level where all you're worried about is eating and sex and dating. And that's all. Like, that's really like a lot of the like younger kids. What do you just built in with testosterone and just wanting to fuck and whatever. So you're like, girls are trying to chase guys are trying to chase girls. It's this whole dating thing. It's this like one night stand thing, and like they're wasting all their time and energy. And before you know it, you just wasted 10 years of running around trying to party and do all this other stuff because that's the thing to do. Because now college is turned into just a party scene or whatever,
and you leave with no skills.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, I just want to go to college so I can go party and blah blah blah. But you're not really looking at long term. Like, we have no foresight of knowing, is that something I want? Is that really beneficial? Because then a lot of times when those little, think about it, when you go to have sex at a one night stand, do you feel better about yourself, or do you feel like,
people right now listening, they're like, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, dude. Like, whatever. But like, you have no.
When it's lit.
Dude, who is like, hey, wait, I don't approve this. But like,
or like, it could be mixed emotions. Like, bro, it was so crazy, but now, now my rent's late. I didn't go to work. I might get fired.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all that time. Think about how much time in a day there is. There's 24 hours, right? 24 hours in a day. You waste a whole 10 years of just trying to like have fun and party,
impress hoes,
right? But you're really missing, like, I guess some type of that could be fun, like in the partying part, but like the substance of like a family or even that is like been ostracized, where it's like, oh no, that's that's for later or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, you think you're really going to meet somebody and you're going to be able to talk about your past, whether you're guy or girl, and be like, yeah, man, I ran through all these chicks, and I chose you.
I caught this, and this. But then I got tired of it, so now I'm with you. It's trippy because I'm going to sound like a fud dud, like a broken record, but it's like, man, with everything you just described, that's like a common pitfall of just a spin cycle of like, I got to do this so I can get the Jordan, so I can press the hose. I got to do this so I can get the rims, so I can get the car, so I can get the hose. You know what I mean? It's like everything's for the hose. I got to hit the gym so I get the biceps. That's for the hose.
But that's in our DNA though too. Like, the guys would do stuff for women. Like,
except yes. But I feel that the common manner in which it's happening in our current modern day society of just a little bit of not sprinkling some nihilism and remove a whole lot of Jesus. And now you got this recipe for destruction where you're going to be middle-aged, no skills, and all you got to show for is some hoes and some Jordans. And I'm going to sound like a fud dud, but it's kind of like, no matter how much we try to get away from like the old wisdom from like the Bible, it's like the Bible ain't always the advice you want to hear. Like, it's not the most convenient, it's not the most pain-free, but it's kind of like, well, what does the Bible have to say about hoes and Jordans? And they'll be like, hey man, in Proverbs, be like, you follow that hoe, you finna have all kind of headaches. And I'm paraphrasing, right? Like, do you know which chapters and verses I'm talking about?
Well, if you're
There's a lot.
If you're talking biblically, I don't know if we want to go biblical with it.
I mean, we don't gotta go.
Because like guys that would chase hoes and do all that other stuff, you just get stoned to death. I mean, let's just be real.
Oh, you're talking about back then?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still all back then.
I know, but what I'm saying is this: the stuff that's gonna keep you out of trouble. And it's like, well, some people got to learn the hard way. Some people got to go out there and live that life, and then kind of like me,
right? The prodigal son, yeah, the prodigal son,
and then come around and be like, dang, all the while it pretty much was telling me kind of what you supposed to avoid. Here's what to avoid. Here's the pitfalls. Here's how you need to live. This is what you're really supposed to be focused on. But modern day culture is. That's why I trip out on some of this culture war stuff, bro. Like, and we're probably running out of time on this episode, but like all the culture war stuff is fascinating because it's literally like almost like, depending on how they do it, it's almost like a form of like terrorism in a way.
But it's also a chess move. If you think about the way that we've been pitted against each other, men and women, and you think about all the little things that are... Think about it. If you're trying to rule over people and you're trying to like, how do we get them?
It's like give them
do
free,
what we want them
free
to do?
porn.
It's
like, make it super accessible.
Give them free porn. Give them this.
That's
and
first.
Then we'll keep them in that mindset, because if they're constantly like masturbating and all this other stuff, their energy starts to deplete. You start to wear them down, and then you just hit them with work, hit them with bills. And we're good. We keep them subjugated to keep doing working for us, not against us.
Not to mention that particular move, which we probably can't talk about it on here, but like in terms of like in history, in certain cultures and societies, who was in charge of, who was establishing those things, and was it for the purposes of like moral decay? And like what you said, you keep them tired and distracted and drained, no energy, cool. On top of that, it's almost like culture war. You're making everything super progressive, super liberal, like, you know, be free, do this, express yourself. That's how you know you're not oppressed, and do it all. And it's like you're mixing in some of that, like, I guess they would call it like moral decay into the culture, just to maybe, I don't know, poison the wells a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to it. I mean, I started thinking this way a lot more when I started like really focus down and try to be like, okay, what would I like to teach my son? Because like, what did I miss out on? What did people not tell me? Like, what was I not taught? What do I wish I would have? Basically, if I could talk to myself when I was younger, what would I tell them? So now I'm really trying to think about that stuff, really thoughtful. That's why I think of how I'm even saying it on here, is because that's probably how I'm going to explain it to my son, just in his verbiage. So he's got 5 more years before he's 18. So I want to teach him as much as I can right now, so he can prep by the time he's 18. By the time he's 18, he can either accept it, not accept it, and I can kind of help him navigate certain waters. So that's why I think really deeply on a lot of this stuff, because it's like, okay, I see the way it is, and I see what skills he needs, and I see the pitfalls. So maybe he's more willing to listen to me, kind of tell him a little bit about this stuff, so that he doesn't have to go through all the shit I had to go through just to figure this stuff out. So that's really why I think really deeply about some of this stuff.
I mean, it's fascinating, and we're going to talk more about it. Very interesting subject. I hope you write down all your ideas and lessons and all that, because hearing you talk about that, it's almost like if your child is a white belt in life, how do you arm them so that by the time they're 18, they at least be a little blue belt with a couple stripes, in terms of like, these are some things my father has instilled in me.
Yeah.
So yeah, powerful stuff. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Please share it. Please share.